Injuries, Pierre's out, Tart's out, Breeda's out, and K1's questionable.
What was K1's injury?
And some knee issues.
Who's currently the backup slot?
DJ Reed.
Is he also the backup free safety?
And possibly starting safety. Possibly starting nickel. He can play corner too. I think he can play defensive lineman also, so we'll see.
No offense.
Maybe.
You guys have gone through so many different safety combinations this year. Is that a big factor in miscommunication breakdowns?
I mean, it's a big factor anywhere. I mean, not just safeties, any position. We don't just play man-to-man every play. It's 7 guys usually looking at the quarterback together. So the more continuity you can have, the better. It's been tough with safety.
As far as that flanker spot, will Pettis be kind of shifted in that direction this week?
He's capable of playing all of them. I definitely don't want to give all the answers to the test yet, but we'll have Keese up, so that we'll have 5 this week, which helps. So we got a little bit more flexibility in what we can do.
Has he been solely X the last 2 games?
The last 2 games, he's been X the entire time. Yeah.
Is Jeff Wilson going to start at running back then?
Yes. It's the one secret I just let out.
Not many choices.
It's just changed everything.
We talked about the lack of continuity throughout the year, and obviously it's a clear factor. But how do you balance realizing that without using it as an excuse?
You don't use it as an excuse. You just try to do your best every week. When you get asked questions, you answer them and you tell the truth. But I'm not out here campaigning, telling stuff. So, that's just a fact. It's part of the NFL. We're not the only team going through that. Lots of teams go through it, and this isn't the first time in my career I've been on a team going through it. So it's part of it.
How do you think your guys have handled dealing with all of that?
Which part?
Different combinations in the secondary and communication and trying to rebound from.
I think they've handled it as well as they can, just from a mental standpoint and effort standpoint, and not making excuses and things like that. But our record, you'd like to handle it better. You'd like the next guy up, you don't miss a beat. You'd like nothing to change, but we have had inconsistency with the people in, and I think that does lead to inconsistent play. So I would like it to be better, but I also understand that is a little bit part of it.
Would you expect Peter to be up on Sunday?
I think he's got a good chance to. Yeah.
How has he improved since he got here as a pass rusher?
I think he was a lot more raw last year. Just coming off. We know he's got good get off and he runs all day. Just learning more moves and things like that. You don't need as many in college, and you need more than a speed rush in the NFL. And he's really worked on his craft and rushing the passer hard. Kiff's done a lot with him in that area, and in the run game, playing outside linebacker. Getting better in his drops and things like that. Understanding football a little bit better. He's come a long way.
How has his strength improved?
His strength?
Yeah.
I know he's put on some weight. I haven't checked his weight for a while, but a year and a half here, 2 years almost now. Spent a lot of time with Ray Wright. Peter works as hard as anybody, so he's a very strong, powerful guy. Not a big guy, but as an outside linebacker, it's a good size for him.
Richard Sherman was kind of laying out his blueprint for the rest of his career yesterday, including free safety. And he said maybe a few years down the road, but do you see that as something that could be in his future? Could he be one of those guys?
He's a good enough football player too. Has the mind, and he's competitive enough to do it. I haven't looked that far down the road, so I haven't been thinking about it much. But, it's neat to hear guys who have plans to play for a long time and things like that. That is a transition that does allow a lot of corners to play a little bit longer. You need to be the right type guy, and it does make sense with Sherm saying that because he does have those attributes.
Where does Nick stand on the pecking order of your quarterback situation behind Jimmy? Obviously he's starting. If the season ended now, is he the favorite to be Jimmy's backup going into next year, or is that something that?
No, if the season ended now, they'd both be going into the offseason competing. They're both. Definitely CJ was our 2 and Nick was our 3, and Nick came in and got his opportunity because CJ was hurt, and he's done good with good enough to keep that in all 4 of the games he's played. And we'll see how that goes for these next 4, but it was nothing against CJ, but Nick came in and played well, and there hasn't hasn't been a reason to put CJ back in yet based off of Nick. So they're dead even to me. I know CJ really wants another opportunity before this year ends. I can't guarantee that for him. We'll see how these games play out, but I see them having a pretty good competition going into next year.
On Monday, you said everyone's being evaluated, including coaches. Do you anticipate making any staff changes?
I don't know. I mean, that's something that, I anticipate a lot of things in terms of, I know we're going to have some tough decisions to make just personnel-wise, possibly staff-wise, just the whole building. But I try not to make any decisions until the time comes. I want to let this all play out. I've just found out that, you don't want to jump to conclusions, and you just want to sit back, relax, and see what happens, and really study it. And you never want to make decisions just to make decisions. And when you do have a bad year like we have, just record-wise, I know that's what people want. They want drastic change. They want quick answers. And if you think the key is those to get it right and to make sure you do the best thing possible to put our team in the best chance possible to win. And that's what we're going to do hard after this year.
Every 3 weeks since we asked you about Salah, you've obviously been unwavering in your support of Has anything changed in that regard?
No, Salah is a very, very good coach. He always has been, he still is, and he's not a finished product either, like we all aren't. I think Salah will continue to get better because he works at it, he's very smart, and I think he's good right now.
How are Marquise's spirits, and how have his teammates sort of rallied?
I think it was good. I think it was good for Keith just to be back in the building all week. We all know that he's dealing with some things, and hopefully for him, it gave him a chance to just get away from some of that stuff and to come in and just be around his teammates and just play football to get his mind off some things. So you guys could ask him, but I felt him get better as the week went, and just excited to have him back with our team.
Kind of following up on that, do you think he's ready from a mental and emotional standpoint?
Yeah, I do. We'll see how much we throw at him, but he had a good week of practice. And he was here since Monday. He hasn't missed one thing, and I thought each day he seemed better and better.
Mark Nizacha is one of the leading, or he is the leading vote getter in the Pro Bowl, aside from his wild popularity in Germany. What do you think are the reasons that he's in the mix there, and has he been an impact guy for you on special teams?
Yeah, Mark's done a real good job for us. He's done a real good job on special teams. He started out this year as our starting Sam linebacker, and then when we had all our backers healthy, he went back to a prominent special teams role when Malcolm was at the Sam, and now that Malcolm's playing inside, we're back to using him on the outside backer. And last year he played inside backer for us. He took a huge step forward this year, changing his positions. We thought it was a much better spot for him. And Mark runs and hits, and usually if you run and hit, you're a pretty good special teams player.
Now, do you have a softball question?
Thank you.
Question.
I'm so nervous before you ask.
It's all relative, right?
But it may be even a silly question, but do you have a top 3 all-time favorite Denver Broncos?
That's not a very softball question. I'm going to definitely offend somebody. Everyone knows Elway was the man. That's a little too obvious. My favorite was Terrell Davis. Ed McCaffrey was my hero. That's why I always wore his number and tried to be like him just for my own self and being a receiver. Terrell and Ed always stick out. I know, but it's just so obvious. I'll throw Elway in, yeah. He was definitely the best. So.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks.